Jeff, I want to be excited for life again, no matter what's going on in my marriage. That's what guys tell me all the time. Welcome to the C Note Show with Jeff and Cynthia, with me and Cynthia. And our topic today, excited for life regardless of her. And it just so happens that women really find this attractive. Women really like this. Cynthia, why do women like a man that is excited for life regardless of her? Especially when there's been strife in relationship and life and things are tough and this is going on with the kids or that or work, and he's still excited for life regardless of her emotions in that exact moment. Why is that something that's attractive to women, would you say?
I'd say that it's attractive on many different levels, but even if we just start at level one, the more instinctual level, she feels in you that excitement and the passion and the things that you want to and are diving into. And it's a fullness around your energy that can really be compelling to feminine energy. She can feel your adeptness, she can feel your investment, and that's powerful. It also can bring up her own stuff for her, but if we're talking about just the whole core reason of the why, it affects her deeply and profoundly in a really positive way.
I was going to ask you about that. How might it be a negative thing? There's a guy on here right now that I spoke with recently that's talked a lot about that with me one on one about how she seems to be jealous or pushing him away, or she gets more angry the more he's relaxed and happy in life. So what might that be about, especially if there's trouble in the relationship?
A woman who's been wearing a really hefty masculine shield can be really competitive with you, that if you're happy and joyful, somehow that takes away from her, or she's kind of wanting to butt heads over it because she wants all the good things and doesn't know how to really connect with you over what's really positive and she can be a part of. And then another part is she can feel instinctually a little bit left out. Imagining that this change of pace, if you're not overly concerned with what she's needing or wanting, or she can't easily make you upset, somehow that means that she's not really being seen or heard or understood. And that's very much the shadow piece of why the masculine doing what he loves is so important, because what she's seeking is really real, but she's doing it in a really poor way and making up stories that somehow your joy and your direction means that she's left in the dust.
Well, let's talk about that by the end of this call of what to do about that then, how to welcome her more into feeling like a team and things. Okay, let's talk about that by the end. So let's chat with you guys. I want to ask you about this topic. Some of you are on the other side of this. You've turned a page in your life. You're writing a new chapter of this story of who you are, and you're excited for life, regardless of whether it's your wife or your ex-wife or the girls that you're dating right now. We have guys on all parts of that journey, regardless of the women going on. So I want to hear from those men that are excited about life regardless. And maybe you're having a tough time being excited for life regardless of what's going on with your wife or your woman. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so I'm in an unusual place because I seem to be losing my marriage and my career at the same time. But what's going on with me, I think is a little different because I've kind of done what I wanted to a lot of the time. And my wife is the person who was really ambitious in her career and she works all the damn time and she makes a shit ton of money. And she'll say things to me like, well, somebody's got to make the money. Now, that's insulting, right? I think in this, as much as we claim that gender doesn't matter and anybody should be able to take any job, I still think in this society, if the woman makes more than the man, that means there's something wrong with the man. Now, I personally have worked for the federal government for 35 years. I have made north of six figures for at least half of that time. I have a good pension. I have a good retirement. I have good benefits. I have good health. I mean, health insurance, but she makes a lot more money than I do. And so I think she sort of has taken on the masculine role, maybe in the marriage. or she feels like she has. She feels like she has to be responsible for everything. And she also feels like she can't ever take vacation and she can't ever take holidays. And now we're at the point where I don't know if you've heard this person, Elon Musk. You may have heard that name around. I pretty much got doged. Okay. So my situation now is I've taken the buyout. I will, I've stopped working and I will stop getting paid at the end of September. So that's kind of where I am. But I've always done what I want to do. I mean, right now I live in Scottsdale, Arizona, but right now I'm in Park City because I want to ride my mountain bike and I want to go fishing. So she's staying home and she's, I guess, pissed, but I invite her to everything and she doesn't ever want to go. So I felt like, so okay, well, I'm going anyway. I mean, I'd like you to be here, but all right, I'm gonna shut up now.
Yeah, no, thanks for saying hi to us and intro. So
Bye.
she recently has said something like, I'm not going to be able to stand you being retired and laying around and doing nothing, so I'm going to need to be away from you, something like this.
Sorry, I should have turned off my mic. Yeah, that's accurate. And I
Yeah.
don't know how long that feeling lasts. I mean, I expect to stay here for the summer and I expect to go back to Arizona in the fall when it gets cold here because I've had enough winter sports. But I don't know if I can go back to my house or if I have to rent a condo or something. We'll see.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if you have a question, Andrew, or something you want to learn today, definitely let me know or come back in or post in the chat. You and I are working one-on-one as well. But let me ask just to broad strokes. So his wife has been more corporate driven. He's mentioned she doesn't have a pension. It's just been kind of eat what you can kill, it sounds like. And she's grown her career, but made a lot more money, whatever that particularly means. And she's now in this go hunt the buffalo, never ending feeling. And because he doesn't need to or want to be always hunting at this point, she feels some kind of way about it. She's judging him, not enough, etc. And so what just broad strokes might that be about within her own self? Maybe this has nothing to do with this per se, as far as money and career,
Mhm.
but what might that be about her own self?
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing that. It reminds me of a woman who's terrified to let go of what she's cultivated around herself in terms of her own masculine shield energy drive because she either feels a profound lack of anything that would be in more flow and relaxation, probably a deep fear of that part of herself. We might even call it the more softer, feminine part of herself, as if it was lazy of her or weak or untrustworthy. And so, because she's so disconnected from that in herself, or so scared of it, or it was so shamed out of her at a young age, it's like this tremendous ball of projection on you when she sees more like deep breath in with life. It feels threatening to her own castle walls because she's feels the that unknown part of herself or that part of herself that she's tried to stamp out.
So let me ask, maybe this is a hard question, I don't know. What if a listener says, "Well, how do you know that about you don't know anything about her. We just talked with her for a couple of minutes, right? We don't really know much." How can you say that about a woman with can't she just want to make a lot of money? Can't she just want a partner who also wants to make a lot of money? How can you say that?
Yeah, I mean, if someone were to say, can't she just? Well, absolutely. I guess I'm coming from the perspective of studying women for 20 years, everything from being in the school system with young girls as they're coming into maturity to adult women to women who really want to do work and be in their feminine and actively practice that in groups. And the consistent theme and story is, yeah, the their version of balls to the walls, it can make you feel powerful, it can make you feel like no one can blow you over, but there's always a catch. And the catch comes either earlier in life or later in life when that part of your soul as a woman that's been so stamped down gets really exhausted or really bitter or starts to not feel so good. And it's part of a woman's experience, but it's also part of the human experience. None of us were made to be 190 miles an hour every day through the entirety of life. And I would even say what doing of the fishing and biking and the sourcing of the masculinity in him, at some point the soul catches up to someone and needs more sustenance than this kind of manufactured life of the perfect office, the perfect job, and doing the thing that makes you not feel any uncomfortable
Hmm.
feelings.
Yeah, that's a great point. The if I just make more money, then I won't feel the uncomfortable feelings. And yeah, we all know how ultimately satiating money is, right? It's money is not the end, right? You wrote, I think what's going, I don't have my glasses on right now. I think what's going on with her is this. She's from a family of girls, all girls. Her father would have liked her better if she had been a boy. Wow. So I think she has something to prove, and she's incredibly successful despite not having a penis. Yeah. Okay, say one thing about that, and then we'll move forward. The, does she have something to prove? What would that mean to her if her father really wanted a boy, and wow, she's got to show she's got just as big of a dick as the next guy? What is, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, that really hits home and what an awareness you have. And I love, yes, despite not having a penis. Yeah, there is already a story in our world that femininity can be seen as weak. And so if you're a young girl growing up, even if her dad didn't say anything outright, but she just felt from him, she could feel the way he holds his body. She could feel how he thinks or judges what she does. She's gonna ingest that as, so there's something deeper inside of me that's weak or bad or wrong. And number one, I got to please my parent because that's my survival. But also, I'm probably getting the message that I better tuck all this softer stuff away so I can make it in the world and survive. Because again, it's probably the message of, hey, if you're just going to be in flow all the time or too girly about these things, you're not going to make it far in life, or you're not going to have any power, or I'm not going to admire and respect you.
So that can be something, a story that's been dormant or unfolding within her from forever that we may be surprised by later on in life. And it sounds like this is something that happens a lot.
It is. And I think as life cycles shift between one stage to another, for anyone, those stories that were conveniently on the shelf or put away or we thought we mastered, they have a way of bobbing to the surface. And it's, does she have skill to swim with the bobbing life raft that suddenly appeared? Or is she going to make it someone else's fault? Or is she going to use it to entrench herself further? But at some point, the bobbing raft is going to have to be dealt with in some
Mm.
way.
Yeah, that's really well put. We have a few dozen particular books that we recommend in our one-on-one coaching and in our group coaching. And this is Steve Horseman's Straight Talk Tools. And this is his analogy of being Tarzan and Jane. Tarzan and Jane, if you've heard that before. So that's what this is referencing. And he wrote, this is really about you, not about Jane. He wrote, when we start doing personal development work inside our relationships, we need to check our motivations. Sometimes we choose to learn a new mindset and tools for the wrong reasons. We want Jane to like us. We want her to swing with us. We bring bananas so she gives us crazy hot monkey love to make us feel good about ourselves. Jane not like your hidden agenda, and neither should you. Why? Well, if you want to be more like Tarzan, you also need to know his secret. Tarzan very happy with Tarzan and not need Jane to give him anything. Tarzan is so comfortable, confident, and at peace in his own skin that he only needs a loincloth. He doesn't rely on Jane to make him feel like Tarzan, but she likes to. He doesn't need Jane to give him hugs, kisses, and crazy hot monkey love, but she likes to. Tarzan knows he has options. There are other Janes in the jungle if his Jane doesn't like him the way he is. But every day, Tarzan chooses Jane and offers her his consistent presence, support, and strength. He's independent but dependable, and he sprinkles in some fun and humor in there too. That's just how Tarzan rolls, and Jane like that. I want to share what I thought was a quite humorous beginning of an article. I always do some research for our calls, and we only have a few minutes left, and so we'll circle to some research and some takeaways today. And again, if you didn't have a chance to ask a question and you want to, definitely email me. Okay, my email is jeff@greatmenmovemountains.com. That's our website, greatmenmovemountains.com. So email me. This PhD, Madeline, there's her picture. She's this article. I laughed so much. It's entitled "Reasons Not to Date an Attractive Masculine Man." Have you this is Psychology Today. She's a PhD. Have you considered the drawbacks to dating an attractive masculine man? This picture fucking cracked me up. Where did you find this UPS driver with the flowers? I don't know. But it says, sure, that good-looking muscular guy seems attractive now, but you really want to date him, especially over the long term? There are benefits to dating attractive masculine men, but you may want to consider the potential downsides. And I'm not going to list them all, but I thought this good-looking men are assumed to have better personalities, more rewarding careers, more fulfilling life experiences, assumptions which may be accurate given our positive bias towards attractive individuals. Attractive men may actually possess better quality genes and thus be healthier, live longer, even more intelligent. Additionally, women partnered with attractive masculine men report to have more frequent orgasms. This finding alone may make some of you stop reading now and pursue the most attractive masculine guy you can. However, and she basically goes on to say, he might cheat on you. It's basic. So it's Madeline's had some trouble with attractive masculine men in the past. Anyway, I just thought that's hilarious. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe, hit thumbs up if you're liking what you're hearing. Our website, greatmenmovemountains.com. We've got free stuff, we've got paid stuff. If you want to reach out to me directly, greatmenmovemountains.com/contact.
Post your questions in the comments below. Also, if you go up to our video details, we have a link. This is for our at-home video course. Turn your marriage around quickly.
We have upwards of 900 videos on YouTube. Last time we talked about she's angry and won't let it go. And today, of course, excited for life again, regardless of her. Number one, that's very important for you as a man. Where am I? Where am I? When I take the binoculars off my face and I look down at my feet on the ground, where am I? Am I fighting what's going on in life, or am I in acceptance of what's currently going on? Doesn't mean you have to like it, but am I in acceptance or am I shoving it away? Am I in denial of what's currently going on? Where am I? And you might need another man or men or some feedback from great friends to help you with this. Number two, what do I want? What are my values? What are my boundaries? Do I know myself? If I ask you, what do you want? Is it clear to you? Does it feel open-hearted and strong to you? Do you breathe deeply when you answer this question? And number three, what's the next best step forward? And am I consistent in that? Are you consistently stepping forward? Are you keeping it simple? And well, how do I do that? What does that even mean is something we talk about all the time. So, Cynthia, what are you seeing from the men today and from our takeaways today? What would you add to this conversation here at the end, please?
Well, I love what you said about taking the binoculars off, because if I reference the article you just read, it was just so painful. There's so much level one people walking around with their own binoculars in life. I'll reference women doing that and thinking that life and masculinity and men and relationship only can look this way. And what profoundly impacts me is being on a call like this, where men like you show up, and it's not even a having to, it's the grounded heart, the passion forward, the integrity, and also the exploration of freedom and what does life mean in an exciting way. That's a brand new archetype, and it really requires the taking down of binoculars. And anytime a woman, even if she's just passing you on the next wind sail over gets to experience that, it it's like she gets to peek down and see something different. And it would behoove her to really take them down and see what's here, because the energy is so powerful and it's so spot on, and it just fills me as a woman with such admiration and respect and of what is masculinity.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Good to see you guys. We'll see you next time. Thank you for being in the chat. Appreciate you guys. See you next time. Ciao, guys. Bye.